Welcome to another episode of the False Nine Show. I am JXL.
I'm Steve.
I'm Deeps.
And I'm Hanish.
Alright, beautiful people. So another week of the Premier League is gone. Game week 2. So before we begin, I'm guessing everyone saw games. I hope everyone saw games, because defeats the whole point of the show if we haven't seen the games.
I'm just going to say yes rather than yeah. I caught highlights of some of the games. I saw a few of the games.
Yeah.
But the others I sort of caught highlights of them.
Can't wait to hear your opinion.
Yeah. I saw all the big games, so that counts.
That's all that matters. We only watched top 6 here.
I watched on Match of the Day, so it's right.
Alright, cool. You watch the games?
Yeah, match of the day, man. Match of the day. That's what it's there for.
Alright, so let's start off with the first big game. That was Spurs City, innit?
City, yeah.
Was that Etihad?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Etihad.
Yeah, Etihad. So what did everyone think?
I mean, again, this one of the highlight games I watched. But from what I saw, from what I've read, City dominated the game. Looking at the statistics, you could tell it was a one-sided game.
I think they had like 30 shots.
Yeah,
and Spurs had like 5.
Something crazy like that. But and I know it's cliche, but it's a results industry. And at the end of the day, Spurs got a point. Fair play to them. But City, they looked amazing, and there's no doubt. I feel bad for who's going to play them next week, because
Bournemouth away.
Yeah, well, yeah, I feel bad for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth away.
They're getting touched.
Yeah, because City are gonna come out. City are gonna come out and just let loose, and I feel it's gonna be like
Bournemouth
a
don't know how to defend. They have no idea
all.
how to defend. Yeah. So yeah.
What do we think about the VAR decision at the end?
I'll let you lot go first.
Before I start talking about the VAR, all this talk before the game was about Spurs potentially being a bogey team for Man City.
Yeah.
And even though like they dominated and everything, it once again Spurs somehow managed to grab a vital point away to Etihad, which not many teams this season is going to do. Yeah. So fair play to Spurs. The question is, did they get lucky? Like you mentioned Man City had about 30 shots on goal, and Spurs had about 5.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lucas Moura, of all the people, like scoring from a header.
First touch
when he came on.
First touch too. So that result was a bit of a shocker to me, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was kind of a fluke. Well, not a fluke, but it was a bit against the grain. So I would say for the first like 60 minutes of that game, City were like unplayable. Like even when Spurs brought it back to 1-1, it was sort of like a flukish goal. Like not the goal itself, but it's like it just came out of nowhere. Like you didn't even see it coming. There was like no build up to like a Spurs attack or pressure or anything like that.
Edison positioning could be a lot better though.
Yes,
for that goal.
That's why he's the second best keeper in the league. Third, yeah. No, second. Take him over there. Yeah.
Oh please.
What do you think about De Bruyne in the game?
Oh, he was unplayable. Like for like at least 60 minutes of that whole game, he was unplayable. Like he kept getting in pockets between the left back, the left centre back, and whoever was playing DM. I think it was Rodri, innit?
Yeah.
Just kept getting into pockets between them and just letting off crosses. Well, they're not really crosses; they're like passes. And then all you have to do is just all Sterling Aguero had to do is just make a run. Like as soon as you saw him with the ball, just make the run and he'll find you. He was utterly unplayable.
What I rate about Kevin De Bruyne as well, he's like a new signing for City as well, because he was injured a lot for
they missed him last
season. But with Kevin De Bruyne, because he started off as a number 10, like he used to play as a number 10, and he's developed his game in a way where now he's a midfielder. He plays as like and he's more box to box sort of thing now, which I think he's developed his game incredibly, and we've seen a lot of number 10s fail to do this.
Yeah.
Ozil is one example. Prime example is
Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez as well, and that role he's adapted perfectly from a traditional number 10 to like a box to box creative midfielder.
I have a theory that the number 10 position is essentially dead, like where you can only just play 10 and you have no ability to like play out wide or play in the midfield. I think that position is essentially dying, because I think De Bruyne helps with De Bruyne De Bruyne and David Silva themselves, like they both started their careers also playing out wide as well. Right, so if you saw a lot of his work at Wolfsburg, he'd also play out wide as well. And David Silva at Valencia used to play out on the left as well. So they both started the game, became 10s, and then now they can like sort of play false 10s essentially, who fold into the midfield. Which is something I think, if you don't do that, your game will be hindered. I think that's why people like Ozil struggle to get into the team. That's why James Rodriguez is struggling to find a club and like sits in Madrid's bench now. Like if you're just purely a 10 anymore, like just modern football just requires you to do a little bit more than that now.
Well, I feel like, because I feel like the 10 has died, not necessarily always down to versatility, but because a lot of teams now are playing 3-5-2 and 4-3-3. That's like the two most popular formations in the game right now, which don't incorporate a 10. Now, to be versatile isn't always a good thing, because you can be a jack of all trades. Like I can name Welbeck, for example. He was decent. It was decent on the left. It was decent up top. He could even play on the right if he wanted to, but he wasn't great at anything. And even players that excel at Ozil for me is a fantastic number 10, but they don't play with a number 10. And I feel the formation involves the number 10 has died.
His lack of versatility is also the reason for that, because he can't play as anything. He's not quick enough to play out wide right anymore, and he's just not like even strong enough or positionally aware enough to play in just the midfield itself. So for him, even though you can be a jack of all trades like a Welbeck, somebody like that, like where there's no real place for you, but you can also be a jack of all trades, but like if you're a specialist at something, that will also help you out a lot as well. Like I think De Bruyne can probably play like 3-4 positions on the pitch, but you know that he can do the positions that he does it to the elite level. And I think that's what helps. Like someone like Danny, you can play 8 positions, that's great, but you don't do it to an elite level. Exactly. So we can just stick you anywhere that we want to stick you.
And as if City had any shortages of wide players anyway. Now you've got De Bruyne playing on the right and putting them.
They've got Bernardo on the bench. They've got David Silva sitting on the bench. It's ridiculous.
And we talked about it last week, didn't we? Like if De Bruyne can stay fit throughout the season, like he will be one of the top players in the Premier League, if not the top player.
The top midfielder in the league, definitely.
Well, we didn't touch on VAR though. Alright, what did you guys think?
Well, personally, I thought it was very soft. Very soft. Like,
but it's the law.
It's back to the law again. Like VAR is VAR. It's the law.
Yeah, but if we're just going by the law, the reason I can't bring the soft, I think the law is stupid, right? Even though I like to talk about the law, I think agree. This particular law is kind of stupid, right?
Just to clarify the law as well, is any accidental handball that leads to a goal is disallowed.
Yes,
right? That's the law.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if it hits your hand. So, like in basketball, like for example, in basketball, it doesn't matter if you accidentally kick the basketball. Like if the basketball touches your feet in any way, that's a call, right? So I get where they're coming from. My only issue with it is like this law only works if you're going to score a goal. It's like a one-sided law. It doesn't like protect. It doesn't do anything for the defenders. It only like penalizes the team that's attacking. So if you accidentally handball the ball in the box to stop a goal, right, and that's not necessarily, they're not going to chalk that up as necessarily a penalty kick or anything like that. It's only if it leads to a goal. And I don't know, like maybe I like the fact that it's definitive. There's no like if, buts or maybes about it. Like if it touches your hand and it goes in the goal, you chalk it off. I like how definitive it is. I just don't like how one-sided it is.
Yeah, it in a way, well, in the defenders as well, because you see a lot of defenders sometimes in the box or their hands behind their backs, trying to not let the ball hit their hand. But in a way, you can, obviously, if you're clever about it, you can sort of aim a header or aim a deflection towards that sort of area for a player. So towards an attacking player or something along those lines, which can, in theory, help you out as well. So that is another factor. So it's a stupid law for me. It's a stupid law. It doesn't add anything to the game. It doesn't at all. It takes away from it, in my opinion. Because if you're if you're 2 yards away and it accidentally flicks someone's hand and goes in, and that's suddenly disallowed, it's stupid, really. But
and it doesn't help VAR.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. Like before we started talking about VAR, like you mentioned, let's talk about VAR, which when it's got nothing to do with VAR. It's the law.
It's the law.
It's the law that's stupid. And
it's the
Hanish,
law
you
of the
mentioned it
game.
last week, and Jerome said maybe you need to write to FIFA or something.
Yeah.
Hey, if you'd done that last week.
I need to call the Premier League up and be like, look,
Yeah. So I just like the fact that it's going against City. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's fantastic. I love it. It's turning on City.
Spurs are top
Yeah.
4 rivals as a Man United fan, so I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
would-
forget you lot in that race.
as a United fan,
As
Yeah.
I'm looking up, mate.
the Arsenal fans were upset this
I mean,
weekend, so
City winning.
I was right.
I don't know what to make of that result. 2-2 was probably like.
Alright.
It wasn't the fairest result.
It
I
wasn't.
think, I
Not
think
at
that's enough of jerking off Man City. Alright, so let's touch on the most recent fixture, which was yesterday. So I'm gonna let you United fuckboys talk about it.
dickhead.
Did you watch